screens
Really?
showing the sports, a nice
Looking
menu,
for a tango place.
a nice menu, food, lunch and dinner.
Do you already own it now, or are you buying it now?
No, we've owned
No,
it
they
for-
own it.
Oh, so
the other restaurant.
Oh, really? Oh,
You
wow.
know, at Fletcher and Riverside.
Yeah, no, I used to
They're
pass by
just
there because I used to DJ over at Dreams over in Silver Lake. It's a nightclub over there. It's called Spaceland now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I used to DJ there, so I was passed by. Rodolfo's going there, so
No, we're shifting. It's going to be more community based, actually.
Yeah.
More geared to
Yeah.
the neighborhoods that are
Yeah, because
locally.
the dance wasn't that.
wasn't
good
doing too
for
well.
us. No, it wasn't bad, kind of. Not too well for us.
As a
To
business,
see
it
money,
wasn't
you don't
making
make money in a business, it's no good business.
Yeah.
We have to change.
Yeah.
But when we bought the property in 1982, and then we started as a French restaurant. Incredible food, delicious, and everything.
Wait, save your stories.
No, well,
This from the top.
yeah.
Okay.
I've already started. I've started. So
Okay, so he's ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
So we want to start with the introduction. So we'd like you each to give us your name.
My name is Lina Del Campo.
Are you on camera? Right
Yes, we are.
I got all of you.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Del Campo.
You're on camera.
Gina Del Campo.
You're Robert's wife.
That's right. Lisa Maria Martin Del Campo.
And how are you related?
I'm
My daughter.
Robert's sister and then his daughter. And his sister-in-law.
Okay.
And I think we'd like to start with some of the oldest memories. You were talking about when you came here, first came to Silver Lake. So
Yes, when I came from my country, Colombia, I came in 1963. And I met my husband, Rodolfo Martin Del Campo, in 1965. He had the small restaurant here, Casitas Del Campo is the main room there. And I started meeting him and working for this place for a little while. And then we kind of get together like really in love, madly in love. And he was a professional dancer, West Side Story, American Party, Singing in the Rain, all the good movies, the great classic movies. And since I met him in 1965, we were together until he passed away in 2003, after 38 years together. And the restaurant is 43 years now.
and was he born in Silver Lake or in Los
No,
Angeles?
he was born in Los Angeles, but he was raised in Mexico, in Guadalajara.
And when did he
Small
come
town,
here?
small town of Guadalajara, Ocotlan.
He was born here.
He
and
was
then
born in
went
Los
to
Angeles,
Guadalajara?
and the parents took him to, when he was like 4 years old, they took him to outside Ocotlan, Guadalajara. And he was living there for, he was 18 years old. It was the time of war, and then he said, I had it with Mexico, because everywhere was, hard life. So he said, I'm gonna go to my country, United States. Everybody told him, don't go, because if you go, you're gonna deserve us.
This was in the 40s.
Yeah.
During the war,
Right,
yeah.
during the war. So he said, I don't care if it's in the I'm glad to serve my country, I'm gonna go. So he came, and sure enough, as soon as he crossed the border, they said they put him in the service. They enlisted him as
Because at that time
yeah,
there was the
it was the war.
draft,
Yeah,
Right.
and everybody had it.
yeah. So he was there for 2 years, I think 2 years, no? 2 years, and then he was sent to Korea, and he was, thank you Lord, he was doing only projecting the films for the soldiers. He didn't have to fight, or he didn't have to do any kind of, bad war thing. So he was kind of lucky because he didn't have that effect in his life, like being fighting with another, killing somebody or something. No, thank you Lord, no, nothing happened like that. And when he was 6 years old in Ocotlan, he went to the movies one day, small, like a small town, one theater. So he went there, and there was a movie with Fred Astaire. So he was 6 years old, and he was looking at this movie, Fred Astaire dancing, and when the movie finished, he said, I want to be like that guy. So he always said, when I was 6 years old, I knew what I want to do when I grew up. And when he finished the service, he went to school here, the Patton Studios here in Hollywood. And he started when he was 23 years old. By that time, he was 23 years old. He started taking ballet.
And which studio was it again?
Falcon.
Falcon Studios.
Falcon
Falcon
Studios.
Studios. Very, very famous.
Boulevard by Western.
That's a dance
Very,
studio.
very,
Very famous dance
Very
studio.
famous dance studio.
Oh no, I'm fine.
And the movie started.
Where did he live at that time?
He was living in a Western, a small room in Western, close to the school. Because he was taking the class like 24, almost like he said, I didn't even eat. He was so tired when I get home to my room that I just go back to sleep. Next day, I can't even walk back to, to do, and then I start practicing for 2 years, and then start working in the office.
So was dancing here in this?
Yeah, he started working in this country.
No, I don't mean his country. I mean here.
The city of Los Angeles.
No,
Yeah, on the restaurant, no, he
This is all prior. This is all prior.
No, it was
to-
right because he was he didn't have the money. He was starting to be so the dancer that he wanted to be when he was 6 years old. So his dream came true, and he was like, I wanna dance with the best. Like,
That was his profession.
yeah,
He was a professional dancer.
he was a professional dancer. He worked in American parties, singing in the rain,
Now,
flowers
is he
drum
with
song.
one particular studio, or was he more freelance?
Freelance. They were pretty much all dancers were freelance. They'd go from, choreographer to choreographer, show to show.
like the art.
Yeah. And his last film was West Side Story.
West Side Story.
What did he play?
He was one of the sharks, one of the gang members.
I remember him.
He was Del Campo,
Really?
was his name.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but I remember the
We still receiving the checks, receive the royalties. Even now, I received one last week. I opened it, I said, oh, it's kind of sad because he's not here, but
So when did he come into Silver Lake and start the restaurant?
1962.
And was he still dancing, or why
He
did
was
he
dancing.
decide to open a
Because
restaurant?
after he started working in all these movies, before the West Side Story one, he was living in Sunset Drive, here on the hill. Sunset Drive, on the top of the hill. He was living there.
No, but after his career ended for dancing. He got to a certain age where he couldn't, he was a little old for the dancing aspect, so he needed to do something for living down the road, and he asked me like small business administration or to send him a pamphlet of different kinds of Washington, different kinds of businesses, and there was a large selection, and he chose restaurant.
and was able to get a loan to do that.
Let me ask you, being Hispanic in Los Angeles in those days, was that a problem that you know of for him?
No, I never
Getting
really, no.
small business loans, was that any problem?
I don't think it was.
He always spoke English.
Yeah, he was
Because
American
he was born
citizen,
here.
yeah.
He
Born
was
here.
American, that's why.
But he had the showbiz flair. He had his charisma and showbiz friends, and he was very laughing and kidding and dancing and song and dance and love. That was the power that came from
So
him.
you kids were born here?
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
were
mean
born-
in the United States.
We were born here in Silver Lake.
Silver
Here
Lake.
She was
That's
born
what
in
we,
in this area, all our life, all his life.
Gina's mother and grandmother were born in Silver Lake.
They live one block from here. They live one block from here, right here on the Fairwood. So I'm here in Silver Lake in 1965. When I came in 1962, and I was around MacArthur Park, that area which was so pretty at that time, but beautiful, close by. But when I met my husband, I moved to live here in Silver Lake. So 65 up to now, and until I die. I love this area. I think it's the best in Los Angeles.
So tell us about the restaurant when you bought it, or when he bought it, was it?
When he made it,
He bought the land and built it?
It was
These are
all.
homes.
It was all.
These are houses.
It was,
Series of houses.
all houses. It was not business around here. So he came one day from his house. He was in the Sunset Drive. But he already had in his mind he wants to do a business. So when he's not dancing, he wants to make some money. Not even going, or always going to the unemployment. He said, I would like to make this kind of business that, or even if I travel or whatever, it's making you some kind of money, But like always thinking like that. So that day he came down and the sign was there for sale, the property. right away he said, "Oh, for my restaurant." So he bought the house in that morning. So they started, the police, whatever they had to do to make convert into a restaurant, and it was done in 1962. So it's 43 years ago.
So are these the original buildings, part of them?
Yeah.
Everything is original.
Wow.
It's not just what you can see as a home.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that would connect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because what happened is that, and then we bought this property. It's another
It's
house.
another house.
It was another house.
Next door.
And then the restaurant burned down in 1970.
Oh, really?
The main original it burned down because somebody lit a cigarette. Maybe at that time it was smoking inside.
There was an
Whatever.
electrical fire. Was there an electrical fire in the kitchen?
No, the kitchen was not intact. The kitchen was intact. Happened in the inside. So we own the next property, so that's why we opened fast. Because in that the customer we left, we go away. So we had the kitchen, so we used to bring the food to the kitchen here. And then it was remodeling for a long time because everything was really bad.
So tell me about your life here. I mean, you were born here?
Born and raised, yeah.
And raised here?
In the restaurant, yeah, pretty much.
And what was Silver Lake like then?
Silver Lake has always been a beautiful, artistic, open, accepting. We've been accepting to all different gay, straight, black, different races, different religions. It's always been very embracing.
Yeah.
So what school did you go to?
I went to St. Casimir.
Oh, you went to Catholic.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school.
Catholic school.
Oh, you didn't go to John Marshall?
No, I went to Loyola High School.
Loyola
Oh,
High
okay.
School. After
Yeah.
St. Casimir, Loyola.
I went to private schools.
Because I went to John Marshall.
You did?
Yeah, I graduated in '79.
And then from Loyola Marymount, he went to Loyola Marymount
Mm-hmm.
and he
Right.
graduated there communication with film,
Mm.
which is his career doing now. He's working into that.
But being here, Gina, what do you have to say about living here
No,
in,
you
in
went
Silver Lake?
she was here one block away.
Silver Lake has always been just this incredible.
So were you,
I've always
Feeling.
wanted, like, when you're young, people say, well, where do you want to move when you're older? Where do you want to live? And all I said was, I want to live in the hills of Silver Lake.
you want to come up
I'm not
to
in the,
my
I want to be in
house?
the hills. So that was basically, I didn't like, it wasn't Hollywood Hills, it wasn't Beverly Hills, it was Silver Lake Hills. Because I already knew it was beautiful here. I've always loved it here.
And you live in the Silver
And
Lake
I
Hills?
live in the Silver
And I
Lake
was
Hills.
living
Where do you live now?
We live on Elevado Street.
on top
I'm
of
on
the
the
hill.
Chilterano.
Oh, you are?
On top of the hill, they can see the whole city.
Yeah, that's
Where did you go to elementary school?
We both actually met in elementary school. We went together at St. Casimir.
Oh, yeah. And then your mother grew up here
She
too?
was
My
12
mom
and
went
she
to
was
King, Mitchell, Trina, King, and Marshall.
Your mother did.
Your grandma.
And my grandma went to Belmont,
Belmont.
King and Belmont. She didn't go to Marshall.
Our rivals.
And they met when she was 12 and he was 13.
Oh my God.
And since that time they are together.
Wow.
And you went to St. Casimir also?
Yeah, I went there for first and third grade, and then after that I went to St. Brendan's School, which is not in Silver Lake, but it's on 3rd and Manhattan.
What about your mother living in Silver Lake and your grandmothers? Where did they come from? When did they come? What kind of stories have you heard from them?
Well, they're, of course it was a lot more, underdeveloped. There's still, my uncle was very into, they were both, really into motorcycles. And she has stories of driving down the Harbor Freeway before it was open, and it was still they were making the Harbor Freeway, and they would drive on their motorcycles on Harbor Freeway. And she just, she knows if you go in the car with her, she knows what used to be that used to be a ice cream parlor, or she just remembers what everything was. It's always been, I've always felt like this is where I belong, and she, it's wonderful.
So do you remember the businesses being different when you were kids?
Different. Ballard's Hardware has always been there.
Ballard's Hardware. Many places have changed.
A lot of the same. Happy Land. The street.
But Disney. Did you know the Disney Studios?
No, it was
They
made
left in
for.
1940.
And my husband told me about it, yeah. And after that it was another small market before Mayfair. I mean, and then across the street instead of the other one, it was a small
The hub market.
Hub
the
market.
hub market. It was really good there.
Yeah.
We used to like the
Yeah, the hub.
Yeah, the Safeway right down here too. The Safeway.
exactly.
It's an office
Oh
building
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, me
Huge
too.
Safeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
So
that.
everything is changing. Yeah, it's changing a lot. A lot of businesses changing.
No, it was, you know, it changed this. Casita at a time in the 70s was a big magnet for music. And there was a big music scene that we pulled here from a lot of musicians.
What
who come
are some
here.
of the people that came that we would know?
Well, you know, off the top of my head, I don't know. It was more of a big jazz scene.
Jazz place.
It was a jazz scene where everybody would show up after their gigs and come over here and we'd have a piano. We had a piano bar here. And we would play music, you know,
Little Richard came here,
all kinds of
but
stuff.
he didn't perform.
Oh yeah, really, really.
Oh, and Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
Oh, the customers from here, and then the guy from Bewitched.
Oh, you mean just customers in general?
Oh, Ralph Hudson.
Rock Hudson.
He was
Oh,
the
yeah,
president
right.
of He used to come here like 3 times a week.
Wow.
For many years. When he was well and beautiful, and when I saw him one day, when from Colombia, I went, you know, I always watch the movies. He was so nice looking, and one day I saw him sitting there. I said, "Oh my God, he's a Ralph." Oh, I was I can't believe it. My husband told me don't talk to him. Don't even bother him. I wanted the first thing I do, I get up from the bar and I would say, "Oh hi, how you doing?" I think I saw you someplace before.
You look a little familiar.
So because with my accent was like really bad, worse than now. So he seemed like he was kind of like, you don't know what to say to me, you know. And then the waitress came by, the waitress Martita. And he told me that, "Oh, I don't know what this lady's telling me, I can't understand." And I just moved away. And I saw him after that every week. He was sick too. Okay. He was always a
Did he
regular.
live around here?
I think he was living in Hollywood, but he loved this place. He just loved it. Oh, because sometimes he had the show or whatever on Channel 7. I think that. But before that, because he discovered this place and he loved it.
No.
He was really happy.
Casita used to be, you know, it was the people that customer base that kind of came, that kind of made it its home here was the gay community. You know, back in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
They're the ones that really came in here and felt at home and felt safe, felt comfortable, and felt loved.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, because Silver Lake was a very, very predominant gay neighborhood.
Oh yes.
You know, it was intense. It
When
was,
we were growing up.
we were growing up. It was,
So that's
Sometimes
the
it was
main,
a
like,
little-
overall remembrance
the
of when I
main-
was a kid of it being gay. Just gay.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Like everywhere on the streets, it was open.
and they
Just
were like
like-
out of place.
and there was a time during the whole leather thing too.
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say that, but I.
you walk down the streets and you see just men in leather, you know,
Yeah,
mustache.
that's nice. I like that.
You can even
That's
see the
nice.
exposed butt cheeks, maybe, or the straps and the gun. You know, not the guns, but the whole macho look. It was everywhere. It was
Yeah, it was
intense.
Brilliant.
It's another like
It's just like 80s.
Yeah,
80s.
kind
It
of a
was,
self-protection thing.
oh, it was
But it was nice, you know.
interesting.
It's nice people, beautiful people. It wasn't
And that same experience of the beauty and that love and of community here, then the AIDS epidemic struck.
Yeah.
And Casita felt it from its staff, from its customer base, from you know, friends. Just it was hit hard. It was decimated. I mean, that experience of death, just death. It was intense. And now with the whole, you know, the change of the music scene that put Silver Lake on the map, you know, the independent kind of music vibe that started awakening people's minds to Silver Lake, that brought in everybody else. We have this whole resurgence of families and just this whole shift of money, more money that's coming into this neighborhood. You know, it's a wealthy neighborhood.
People, a lot of movie stars live in this city, they always come here now. Like you saw the other night, this in yeah, I don't know if they
What?
¿cómo llama la chica que en los Phillies?
Gwen Stefani?
I always think it was funny. Chris Young and the big stars coming around.
When did you start the cabaret downstairs? And is there any?
Many years ago.
And what's the history of the cabaret?
Because we had the show, Fears Upstairs, we have a show, like it's like a show, it's really like a comedy. And then we just put it downstairs because it's, we are really busy here, so you know, so we don't have time, we don't have any space back here, so it's very safe.
It really ties into the theatrical background that the restaurant was founded on.
Yeah, that's what I was
With dance,
wondering
music,
about
and actors.
that.
A lot of acting, a lot of music, a lot of dance. It just,
Right.
it's a natural flow to that
So you've
expression.
always had the cabaret?
Yeah, it wasn't always there, but it was.
Right, but
We used
you
to have it
always
over
had
here, and I actually did some performances as a kid.
gonna ask if your
12-year-old,
dad ever
11-year-old, you know, doing monologues, doing this, doing that. We used to have it over here too. The whole music scene was Southern rhythm. Rudy not Valentino, Rudy de l'Amour. You know,
He was
we used
very,
to
do you
have-
think he was, he was so funny, he is so funny.
We used to have Sunday jam sessions here. You know, there's 3-piece Sunday jam sessions where we get complaints from the hills in Franklin.
That's what that way we don't have the
From the
music.
Sunday jam sessions.
Yeah.
This is like, you know,
It's
70s.
always
This is
like,
all,
yeah, it's always
but music, acting, dance has always been around.
art food,
Painting classes,
drinks,
yeah.
Wait,
you know.
so, go ahead.
He knows probably maybe more about
That's it.
that. But I remember that they would have art. He told me I wasn't born yet, or I was like a little baby or something. But they said that they used to have like art class and then sell
Oh
things
yeah,
outside.
my husband took the class and
Like
me too.
painting.
Oil
Painting class,
Oil
oil
painting
painting.
classes during the day.
I took the class and my husband.
Yeah, right here in this patio where we're sitting. There'd be easels and people
Right here.
painting and
Yeah, one of the
during the
paintings that my
lunchtime.
dad did.
And they would have expositions of all the paintings and
Art
people
shows.
come and buy the paintings. It was
It's like a cultural center here.
Oh, very much.
Yeah.
Sculptures and the fountain was, you know, had built for my dad and
the fountain, yeah, at the
another,
parking lot, he
another
made it
sculptor,
himself.
Boris Kuchikov.
The beautiful fountain and
Bulgarian
the
guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
with a special
Boris
Boris
Kuchikov.
Kuchikov is a very talented sculptor, like
Sculptor.
yeah, very
And he made the
talented.
fountain
With my
outside.
husband.
Yeah.
The two of
Together.
them.
We should-
The two of them.
Is there a fountain in the middle of the parking lot? Was it originally a garden or
No.
a river?
No, that was
It
just
was
added
my
to
husband's
beautify a parking lot.
Yeah. It was his idea. It was his idea. It was so.
Just for the beauty of a fountain.
Great. Yeah. And it's beautiful. Like, and he made it
Oh, that was built
himself.
in 1972.
72. We had the date there.
It's kind of stamped in there.
Yeah. So it's beautiful.
And who did you say worked with it, the sculptor?
Boris Kuchikov. He's from,
Was he a customer here?
He's a Bulgarian. I don't know, he's a friend of mine.
They became friends. I think because the wife came to take the class, the painting class. and
painting
then-
class.
And then they became really good friends. And we had that sculpture there. That
The
one,
eagle with the snake in its mouth.
He made it.
Boris Kuchikov made that up there in the entrance.
Oh, up the,
Yeah.
He has a lot of the Billmont in Santa Barbara, the Billmont. All the art is from Boris.
But when Casita was being made, my dad had his showbiz contacts, so he had a lot of production designer friends of his help him design the look of it that they were working at KTLA Studios. So a lot of the booths are all original from 1962. The cuts and
Everything is
all the booths over there.
still on
There's a lot of original. There's a lot of original paint too from 1962 on this wall over there. You see how it looked inside. You know?
Yeah, we want to keep it always this because many people go like because when you go by, driving, really small place, and then when you come in, oh, but it's nice. We don't never want to change because my husband said I never want to change the original like from the place. Never. It was the way of being. He didn't want to make a big show like in the front, like attract people. He said no. When people come in, then we come back always because we had good, especially embrace our customers. We love them, and it's the way we have
We really are like a landmark in Silver Lake.
It feels like it. You know, 1962 was quite a long time to be here.
I can't even
You know, we've been 7 days a week.
Yeah.
We only close 2 days a year
before it
for
was
43 years. That's cool. You know, is that a landmark? It's almost we're hitting close to our 50.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years for a restaurant.
And before used to be for many years, 11 in the morning to 2 a.m. every night. So he was working during the day and then he was working at night as a bartender with 2. Every night I say, oh, but sometimes it was in the noisy. Doesn't matter, it was the kind of the time everybody was working with 2. Now, you know, we close depends, sometimes at 11, 12, 1 or 2. It's quite kind of different to live in around.
About the menu. He grew up in Mexico. Did he go to cook down there? Or did mama cook?
Nobody knows how to cook.
Nobody knows.
I know. I took the recipe. It was a wonderful lady, Mexican lady that did all the recipes, the original recipes. So I had the recipes. You know, she already passed away too. Elvira. She already passed away, and then she started making the menu, and then we are adding with our experiences. We are adding more dishes now, really great ones. So we kind of start expanding the menu.
We used to eat here, we moved in '76, so we ate over.
Oh yeah, 76. The nice thing of the art that's been part of this cultural is that Gina now is making all our mosaic tables and the outdoor patios.
Yeah, they're beautiful, Tina.
It's her passion, her talent, and so the thing of art is continuing. It always continues, but all the tables that are being done outside are by her hands. They're beautiful, phenomenal. She gets
She
her shots
already
back.
did the first one, and she's gonna start making the big ones. She already made one. She's gonna make all the tables and the patios are handmade.
I think it'd be nice to walk through the restaurant and have them point a couple things.
Yeah, it would be really fun to do that and be able to film it. So that it goes with your story.
Record of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
the only thing I'm worried about is it may not be light enough, and I don't know if I can get the light working on this to do that. So I don't know.
Come back tomorrow or in the daytime.
Well, I was thinking that maybe the daytime, maybe you would invite us back. Yeah, to get a better look at the building outside too, especially. So that's up to you.
The fountain had lights.
I think it's a good idea.
The
Just
fountain would be nice.
capture some moments. I mean, there's a lot of paintings that were given to us, customers also.
Yeah, it'd be nice to document that.
Like that one, by a customer. And then we had the bullfight, which is very popular, the bullfight. But right now it's covered.
Day of the Dead.
Halloween is still because we live for the common. Because it's the Dia de los Muertos. We like to use this painting was made by my niece's husband. He's from Barcelona. He's a very well painted, well-known painter in Barcelona. So then he made all these beautiful paintings for Halloween.
Were there any Mexican restaurants that you were competing with when you first opened? Or?
It wasn't the same ones, Tasco, Via Tasco over here, but
La vida Tasco, el Tasco used to be
El
I think they were
El Chavo.
still there too, yeah.
but
Pretty much the same
it's-
ones.
I know he's there, we ate there also.
Barragans,
Yeah, but El
same-
Chavo
same-
used to be Villa Tasco,
pretty much the
but now it's a
same
new
ones that are still around. They're still there. Barragans, Conquistador, it's all been around, you know.
But you were the first one?
No, I think Barragans was before us.
Barragans.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Do you own 2 locations here and Rodolfo's?
yeah, well, Casitas Del Campo.
Yeah.
Just one restaurant.
Okay.
And then Rodolfo's.
Okay.
Did you own Rodolfo's a long time?
Yeah, we bought it in 1982. Used to be a men's war salon.
Okay, well, we ate there
You did?
lunches and,
French,
Yeah.
French,
wonderful, it was
Continental.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And I was really so sad, it's so
It was expensive because we had the base like in French
wonderful.
restaurant.
It was delicious.
But in the
We're a little
90s, with the
ahead of
inflation,
our time.
it came down. So it was really down. So we had to close because we were no
And then
longer
it
making
became a cabaret.
And we had
nightclub.
cabaret there.
Nightclub.
Dance place, yeah. Just had cabaret.
restaurant cabaret.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a dance.
That's what I
Only
Place
nightclub.
But it was the place I used to bring guests.
It was
When
so
there were
beautiful.
guests
Yeah.
there, and I was looking, particularly in the daytime, because it was beautiful.
It was beautiful,
outside.
you're right.
Really
And the
lovely.
food was always great. The bread, the butter, the people. It was so beautiful. Yeah. So it was such a good remembrance. But now it's gonna be beautiful again.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be the same like before. When we had the rest, the French, and now it's gonna be Italian.
No, it's not really Italian.
We're not really Italian, but we're gonna have pasta.
It's not gonna be the
It's the
same
same as
exact
before.
food,
Continental.
but
Continental.
Yeah, continental.
Continental
It's
flavor.
got a
It'll
little
be
bit of
fun to
everything.
see what it turns into.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that we're doing is we're looking at what the life in Silver Lake was like and how it's specific to Silver Lake. So I'm listening to you, and now this is a real landmark here.
It is.
People know it's here and have always talked about it being here.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just wondering about your own lives as you grew up, how it was different because you were in Silver Lake. You know,
It felt safe. When I was young, I always felt afraid to walk on the streets.
It's always
I mean,
safe.
maybe a little bit. I mean, where I live now, no, but where my mom lives, where I grew up, it's a little bit rougher right now. Maybe just because there's more people. But when I was growing up, I would never feel afraid to go out and walk to my friend's house down the street at night, even. You know, that was great when you're a child and not having fear to go outside being a young girl and not having to be afraid. And it would, that was one thing that when I grew up that I remember about Silver Lake, and that's what I love about it. Yeah.
The people really friendly people. Like when you meet people, customers, they always come by like family. Oh hi, how you doing? They really love you, and we love them too. So it's so nice. Like you have a lot of family.
It's almost like a small town.
It's like a small town in the
Because
city.
we know everyone who lives, in Silver Lake.
They're so
Still,
happy.
you know
Everybody's
people
happy.
from Silver Lake. It's like you know them.
Yeah.
And
You have a connection.
And being exposed to such a wide group of people made you more accepting in your own life when you ventured anywhere else. Just gave you the sense of like an open mind. Yeah.
Apparently, especially because when like the 80s, there was a lot of gay people. They say, but who owns the place? And I say, my husband, and they always my children around here, and they say, great, you're a family, like kind of, family. Having this place was used to be kind of a restaurant, now it's everybody or everybody's going kind of beautiful. So they kind of have them in mind always, like they appreciate us more and they think we are great because it's a family. Because the places I think they
well,
expect.
it's interesting when you talk about the different restaurants because we're customers of those restaurants for years. I know the Barragan family. I know who they are and how their kids grew up and that kind of thing. I know who runs the El Chavo,
Right.
Ricardo, and where they are and who's living. And the thing that's so interesting in that place, and maybe you know more about it, is that I know that in El Chavo, the waiters have been there 25 years or more because we're going there 25 years and they knew us, all our kids when they were little and we came in. And that was very much a gay restaurant.
Yeah, no, the same thing here. Our waiters have reached a point where they have to retire. They've worked here 30 years. They've bartenders that are here right now that have been here 25, 27 years.
Yeah, Margarita, she was for like the chicken, I even carry the tray. I have to carry the tray. I used to tell the bad boy, go and help me with the tray because she can, because she wants to be here because it's good for her soul, like being with people. She's already like going now, like she's right now she's 82, and she comes once a week, all having dinner with customers and friends, and she's always a guest. design whatever she wanted. What to eat or drink and for the place. Part of the family.
I know you've also always been very generous with the community, like collecting toys for children with AIDS or donating to fundraisers. It seems like as a family you've had a very generous policy to give back to the community. It's really, we can always count on you. Really. Yeah.
No, we had that, yeah. My husband was very giving and he told me everything I know. And same for my children. Yeah, we like to give back and appreciate what we have and be thankful all the time. Thank God. Whatever we have.
All the coins that go to the fountain.
Yeah, I was just thinking of
They
that.
go to the orphanages in Mexico.
The coins in the fountain. Yeah.
Thousands of dollars, throughout the years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a lot.
Tens of thousands.
It's only coins, but when you go to the sometimes got checks, cash is 400, 500, like
Taking a
every
check for 8,000.
2 weeks, so it's down in the fountain because we have this sign, the coin go to the pool and they go to
That's been, we've gone, family trips down to, Mexico, Tijuana, to go deliver the money, orphanages to see what's happening.
now I give it to the mission and money. I send checks. Today I send one for the Thanksgiving. I like to help the mission. Because my husband was the one on Third and Los Angeles, downtown, Los Angeles mission. Like we would always like that because they kind of try to help people get out of the the street. So, the
Just
children.
got something in the mail for Thanksgiving dinner there.
Yeah, I sent a check today for that occasion. I sent they don't send it back. Casitas sometimes make the casita and the person. Yes, business. But it's good to give. You can do what you can give. And we are giving. We don't like to keep everything stuck everything. For
So
us.
do you work in the restaurant? Or you have some outside job or inside job?
Both. I went to college, so I started my own career in film business. And I've done that for about 12 years. But in tandem with Casita and Rodolfo, I was born here, so it's always been part of my life. It's just something that's inside of me is home. I feel very comfortable here. It's a very intriguing, spiritual place for me. It's not just a restaurant or a business. It's a very grounding place. Yeah.
You were both raised to speak Spanish and English. And how about your children? Do they speak Spanish and English?
They don't speak as much Spanish as I wish they did.
But some?
They understand.
The 4-year-old has to talk because I always say, I don't understand English, talk to me in Spanish. ¿Qué dice? So he answered back, ¿qué dice? But I have two more sons. My other son is not here tonight, Mitchell and Jennifer.
Oh,
So I have four
four children?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Mitchell right now is just working at Rodolfo's and he's gonna be working there like chef, bartender and bar manager, and Jennifer too. She is going to work in So I wanted to start learning and being responsible, being there. Lisa Maria was here. But because I'm not gonna be forever in this life.
But it really is a
in
choice.
this place.
Choice. If you want to be here, you can.
If you want to be a ghost, you can. But I don't think we want ghosts.
I will come back as a ghost. Are they doing okay?
When you had music here, what type of music did you have?
It was we used to have a nice like a Doobie Brothers kind of a sound back in the 70s.
Nothing mariachi or anything like that.
We had mariachi. We had mariachi on Sunday afternoon. We used to have mariachi or Cinco de Mayo.
Always Cinco de Mayo.
But it's always had a jazz tint.
Yeah.
It's always been a jazz flavor coming around the corner. Big band, horns, my dad played trombone at LACC for many years in the jazz band over there. He got older and he goes, I'm going to pick up music. So until he died, he played music at LACC for about 20 years. So the music has always been part of it.
I know my children, they play the piano perfect.
Not perfect. No, not perfect.
Well, I said perfect. I said perfect because
You're the mom.
They were little until they were teenagers.
Yeah, we studied music at home.
Yeah.
We always had music.
I'm taking the class
Dance.
of piano
You
now.
know the people that bought or owned the El Cid restaurant?
We know the original people. The
Oh, the new
Spanish-
people that
the
bought
new
it?
people we don't know.
Well, I'm thinking about Clark Allen, who owned it for many, many years.
What is the name?
Clark Allen?
I think my husband knew him. He's an American person, no? American guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We know. Now he plays. Sometimes he plays at the flower market in Vine on Sundays.
Is he still around?
Yeah. He plays on
This is many
Sundays. He
years
plays
ago.
sometimes the
Flamenco.
flamenco. Yeah.
Flamenco, yeah.
I saw him like last year. I saw him. My husband saw him and talked to him before he became really sick. And he's still there. And we know the original owner, like
TNTs too.
yeah.
So when did your husband die?
Died August 28, 2003. Yeah, he had pulmonary fibrosis. He got the disease pulmonary fibrosis, and I think it was a gene there because her sister died like 3 years before the same condition. Because he never smoked, he was a professional dancer, he never was in the mines or doing anything with the earth. Sometimes he's getting and he just got that disease and it was 3 years.
But he was a dancer in the time when it was really smoky everywhere. Like
Right,
in
it
Las
was the
Vegas.
places were full of these things.
So and that's where he used to dance, where you like do a super breathing, you know. So I don't know if that could have been an effect. But his sister didn't do the same thing. But she got it unless there's like some lung
I think it's like
susceptibility
like
or
a
something.
gene maybe, because why do people brother and sister die the same condition? 3 years difference. And the disease is like 3
But
years.
nobody else has had it. No other person in our history that has that. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of strange. I wonder what it is.
How did the earthquakes affect you here? Did they?
No,
Not
so
really.
far never. When it said nothing happens here, not even a glass moved from the bar. It's kind of
That is
solid.
It hasn't
Really, even the one, the big one, the North Street, the 1994, I think. Or,
Yeah, 94.
94. I came here, I said, oh, what is happening? I don't know what's going on. I found nothing. It was, there's not even a glass from the bar or anything.
I remember being at the parking lot. And I think it was like a 70-something earthquake.
Yeah, February 9th, 1971.
Maybe that could have been it, or maybe the next
Sylmar?
one, or another one. It could have been another one. After
Oh, no.
that.
The Whittier earthquake, October 1st, 1987.
That could have been that one.
It was 7:37 in the morning.
was very early.
Maybe it wasn't that one, but it was one earthquake that we were out here in the. I was on the parking lot. We were just seeing like the parking lot looked like a wave. It was just like wave action, like made on the ocean. It
Remember
was
that?
like wow.
How old were you? Were you a little kid?
I do that.
I lived
Yeah.
across the street. I lived right there on the same street, but across the street from where I grew up. And I was only 3, and I remember that.
Yeah, I lived in Atwater Village. I was 10.
I just remember
That was
seeing, like, 'cause
probably
I had
the one. We
the memory
lived
of
3
books.
miles
I
from
had
the
books on the shelf, and they were just
But in this area, even the hills
Yeah.
and everything, everything, nothing happens. It's like
You know who knows a lot of interesting history of Casita of Silver Lake is Mrs. Sumi from Tokyo Florist.
Yeah, we haven't. I don't think we've met with her yet, but we were talking about that.
She remembers this area when it was just fields.
Yeah,
When there was no roads, it was just wild hillsides.
somebody from my church. Her name is Doris McKentley. She started going to in this area in 1928 to our church. I go to Silver Lake Community Church right over there.
Oh, the one on Happy
Yeah, right over there. Yeah. So, but she went to John Marshall on the first day that it opened. She's like 88. She's her mind is there. She's great shape and everything.
And we knew her mom and her
That's cool.
sister, and he died, but the husband is Frank, is a great guy too. And she continues, and she continues with the flowers, even really better. And she goes 4 o'clock in the morning to get the flowers. Like every morning, she goes herself. So I said, oh my God, it's great. I like to buy the flower there. Yeah, so.
Now, you
bought these houses in the 60s to make them into a restaurant. Do you know how old the houses are?
I don't really know. When are they from? Like, maybe like 39, I guess. That's
Maybe older, maybe like 20 something.
Do you have
20?
pictures from around that time?
Pictures when you bought it? Before you made it into the restaurant?
Before? I haven't seen anything before.
There's pictures of Rodolfo's before. I saw one today actually.
Rodolfo because it's, you know,
Pictures of
it's
Casitas
younger.
before.
Yeah.
But from this
Before,
one,
as a restaurant,
I mean,
the houses?
we might find something in the file because, you know, my husband
would be great.
was the one who keep all the photographs for we had so many.
I know there's photographs of when this place was open, the grand opening of
That would
it.
be great.
So 1962.
That would be wonderful.
When it was, you know, they were camping outside and, you know, being real campy. No, not campy, but campy.
Right.
Oh,
The
campy.
promotion, like, you know, with their paintbrushes, like they were going to opening. You know what I'm saying? Like, grand opening. Real,
Who was doing that?
you know, my dad, you know.
Do you know the real estate company that sold it to you?
Yeah, the one is here on Sunset. What is it? The one is name here.
It's still there.
Public Notary.
Stein?
Stein.
Not Stein.
It's on Sunset next to
Across the street
the.
from Millie's.
Stein.
Yeah, Stein. Yeah, Stein.
There we did the notary, the old
My
one?
husband knew, but my husband knew the father really well, and he was the father, and now the son is already old. And I go over there sometimes to the public notary, and that business too. So I go sometimes, and I used to go with my husband, and they talk, you know, about remembering about all the old days. Old days. He's still there too. Yeah.
Do you remember how much it cost? I mean, the first
I think
structure?
I think he bought this property, this one, the first one, for 19,000.
19,000. Wow.
And then from the next door over there, the lady who owned the house, he was my husband's friend. He sold. He was he was at that time 25,000 for the property. He wanted to sell, but she wanted cash. And my husband didn't have the 25,000 cash, so he could not buy that property. The next one. Now we will like.
What is the next one now?
Now it's they make purses. Yeah. It's a new guy, and he's very nice, and he asked me one day what I think about it. I said, what are you going to do there? Because I need that. They have so many businesses in that place that you can believe it. So he said, as a first I said, what are you kind of business? He said, I'm going to make purses. And I said, okay, it's going to be just the factory to make purses, it's going to be perfect. But you're going to sell it someplace else, you know, nobody. So he's doing it. He makes the second floor, and he lives upstairs, and he has the factory downstairs, so it's great.
My dad told me that this used to be a church. There used to be a church downstairs. Like, that's what it was. Yeah.
Church aspect.
Oh, so
Where the club is,
so downstairs was here already. You didn't.
Oh, it was already
It was
there.
already here.
Yeah, it was like a basement, but it was a church.
Wow.
They have the.
I wonder what kind of church that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
That would be really interesting.
Somebody must know, right? Somebody must have, hopefully,
But
somebody
I
around.
think the new people, they don't know about that because, you know, since we bought the property in 1962, and these people that used to come to the church, they know around.
They're dead.
Yeah, not anymore, so they
We
don't
might be
know.
able to find out.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting. So you thought it was, did you say Armenian or?
Did you say Armenian?
Oh, no,
No,
I don't
no,
know
no.
what kind.
Oh, okay.
I'd say it'd be interesting to find out what kind.
No, we don't know. We
But
just
there was a
saw.
church story. Like there's
Something about a church.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we saw the pews and the.
Oh, you saw pews?
I didn't see them, but I didn't see it because it was already. But he told me.
Use them.
So
How did people get in there?
they had the entrance to the when we
Like
had the
staircase
kitchen. When we had the
outside?
kitchen, they had the outside, inside the house. It was a house, so people went to the house and go downstairs. It's an entrance. But no, not the one that we have now. It's another entrance. Now it's the kitchen there. So it was everything different.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
There's a customer here, and he always talks to me. And he likes to talk a lot, and he like tells me about stories and about politics. And
Oh, really? That would be a person to interview.
oh, definitely, he would love it too. He loves to tell
To talk.
talk.
Only
Only if he's from Silver
Marcella.
Lake.
He He's from Holland, and he has a lot of stories.
Oh,
and
that would be wonderful.
And he just told me like last week. He's like, you guys need to talk more about the historical aspect of this. And it's so weird now that this is happening. You know? But he was telling me that this was one of the only places that embraced gay people here. You know, there was like and he always goes like, there was the only place. And he said, because unless it was like West, I don't know if West Hollywood. I remember, I think there might have been some over there still already. But like he said that this was the only place that people would come.
How did that happen? Any idea how it happened that Silver Lake turned out to be the gay place?
Because used to be a lot of people in the community. The gay.
But this was the only place that embraced. That's what this man said.
Oh,
He said we're the only place that embraced.
You're saying this restaurant?
The restaurant, are you talking about?
Yes,
Or the community?
yes, this restaurant.
Oh, the restaurant, okay.
Yes, this restaurant was the only place that embraced gay people.
It's not, it really isn't true, but it sounds, good because I know El Chavo was not only gay, but everybody
Oh,
was
really?
gay.
Well, I don't know what he says that then. I mean, maybe when you interview him, that would be a good question.
But that's all right. I mean, people
That was
have
his
their own
experience.
perception.
Or maybe,
You know, for him it may have been
they embrace them.
They embrace
Oh, that way too.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
it's
you know
not
what
that
happens
he's
is when
wrong,
people come
it's
here,
just I
they're
know
like,
there
hi,
are other
like always
places.
you know, you know, like saying hi too. So, you know, we say, oh, hi, how are you doing? And always giving a kid like from Spain. Yeah, el beso.
I wonder why. For him. But maybe he was more aware of it than we because we're not in the same position as him. Like, maybe he felt more comfortable here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe, yeah, personal.
maybe he did feel embraced.
And he's still coming.
He's been coming for a long time.
Yeah, she already
He stayed so long time. Marcel. The older customer with a French accent.
We'll have to find him.
Oh yeah, he comes here. He comes here a lot.
weekends.
We should put a sign in this restaurant saying that we are doing the history of Silver Lake. Look for your oldest customers,
Oh,
the
they would
people
love
who
it.
have lived here the longest and haven't
That's
contacted
cool.
us.
I had a few weeks ago, we had we celebrated an 80th birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been coming here for almost the beginning. And he's like, he told me, he's like, I wish we could just share about the history of the because he said this a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
But the
Larry
guys
and Chef,
about the
perfect,
paintings.
yeah.
About the paintings. They live in the area forever. And he's right
The
now
sign is
saying,
fantastic for the sign.
That's a really good idea.
He just turned 80 years old.
There's
he
a
was
picture of them all.
waiting like the for some seconds. So he's coming there and he said he was the paintings, beautiful paintings.
People fill out, remember, but that would be
And I still live here, they live close to ABC.
okay.
We have the special guava margarita. This is from guavas, from the tree to the table. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And they taste delicious because I have a guava tree
Everyone like
in my
one
house.
here?
I like the taste.
Yeah,
Alex,
Alex. You like to have a guava margarita?
they're fresh from the tree. From my mom's tree at home.
Okay, one.
How about round? Not for me. Me? I'll have a single.
Yeah, when we do is, I have it in my house.
Yeah, I'm part of that.
So many ones, and this big, like big one, beautiful. And then I would, every day we cut them and I put it in the kitchen. My whole house smells like guava. Because, and then like,
So where do you live?
I live in, right now I'm living in Beverly Boulevard and 6. I'm gonna move close by.
Like Miracle Mile area.
Used to be
Filipino
very-
town.
Did you live in Silver Lake?
Filipino town?
No, I live in 1832 Hyperion. For many, many years.
1132.
Yeah, 1132, like before sunset. Before sunset.
Right here.
My husband used to own that beautiful, it was a beautiful house. Now they're making a cosmopolitan rooms, a lot of rooms, and they rent it's a beautiful property. It used to be.
And we used to live right here next door to the
And
restaurant.
then right there next
Which is
door.
the office.
Right there.
We used to live there.
Yeah, we used to live there for so many years when they were little. They couldn't, but do you know what happened? We used to live there. It's a nice house there. And then it's our house too. And then the bus boys start not even knocking. They said, one and we are watching TV. Said, oh, the bus boy didn't show up today. What is happening? Well, my husband used to say, what is happening here? This is our home. You don't, like, forget it. so when my last daughter was born, I said, how is this born for us?
And she's your only daughter?
No, I had two.
Jennifer's the other one.
Jennifer is 28 and she's 26.
And then my dad had a
38 and 36. She's 38.
Break there.
4.
and my dad also has a daughter. She has a daughter from the previous marriage. So we have a stepsister too.
And does she work with you too? Or
No, she lives in Sacramento and she was an adopted daughter. And she's older, she's like older than Robert. And she's very fine, happy and everything.
She grew up around here too.
Yeah, she went to Marshall and she went to
an alternative school here.
Around here.
Oh, I remember
Do you
that.
remember? Do you know what it's called?
It's called the alternative school.
Oh, really? Well, it was alternative education.
Yeah,
My
I
dad
think
would
it
say
was
they
on
would
the
play guitar. And, like, they could do anything they wanted during the
It was
day.
not that
They
great.
went to school now.
A little quite, almost right, but not
Preschool. That's what he said. I remember.
Did you go to Apple School?
It was an exaggeration.
Oh yeah, she went to Apple
Did you go to Apple School?
Was I the bridge?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
But now it's a
My
French
sister,
school.
my sister went to Apple School.
And Jennifer and Lisa Maria, they went there.
It was a good school.
Beautiful place.
So what would you say is the biggest change that each of you has seen in Silver Lake?
That's good, each of us.
Yeah, because it'll be different because you're different ages, you've lived here different amounts of time. So what's the thing that's
Well, for me-
changed the most?
For me, the change the most in this area around here,
Yeah.
there's too many body shops.
Body shops.
I don't know, there's kind of
That too.
no, there's too many in Hyperion. And it used to be just homes, homes. And I knew the owner because the owner used to be my friend for many years. He owns from here almost to the corner. And all those properties became body shops and a huge, big properties, like 5 or 6, including this one that they sold for the. And that's the only kind of, I don't like the legal, but now they're gonna change that. They're gonna sell. They are for selling. Now it's for sale. Thank you, Lord, because somebody told me they're gonna make. ¿Qué es lo que van a hacer? No, they just told me, Robert. He used to be like the
Apartments or?
like
Condos?
Condominiums.
Condominiums they're
Yeah.
putting there?
That's what they say. But we don't know.
Better than body shop.
Yeah, better than body shop.
You'd have to
Yeah.
change the zoning,
No, this is yeah.
right? To change from a body shop to condominiums, they'd have to get
One is
zoning.
commercial and the other
It's
is
residential. You have to get a zoning variance.
Is that not easier to go
Big
from
exchange.
commercial to
The
residence
shift
than
from
from
the,
residence?
the gay community to more of a straight community.
So it's been gay as long as you remember. It's
yeah.
been several years.
Oh yeah.
So what do you
Predominantly.
say?
See, the biggest shift in demographics from
38
gay
years.
to straight and to a wealthier, the shift of money.
Shift
Not
of
complete
money.
shift.
Kind of the shift of money. It's a wealthier community now. It's a big shift.
Yeah.
Mayfair to Gelson's.
Yeah.
Mayfair wasn't so shifty.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was. It was always a nice market.
It's more of a cheap market.
Gay
I
fair.
would say like everyone realizes the property value
Yeah.
has gone so high
Yeah.
compared to when I was growing up and all of that stuff. And also, I don't know if it's because I have a family, but I feel that there's so many families here now. I mean,
More
that's-
more families than when you were growing up.
Yeah,
And you
it was
grew
much
up
more
in
like
the 70s?
when I was born in 1967.
Okay.
And yeah, I grew up here. Yeah, 70s was my birthday. But I would say the families and
Well, you're saying it was sort of a gay population, and now they're
yeah,
more
now, right. So
families.
it's like straight. Like, and the property.
It's weird. That's the same thing I was gonna say. The houses are getting like so expensive. I wouldn't be able to buy a house here, you know. And then the other thing was the same thing that I see. There's more. It's not just more of a gay community. Before when I was growing up, I used to see this as just like gay community, and this is the restaurant. You know what I mean? That was it. I didn't really. And then there was like Bowler's Hardware, that kind of vibe too. She's like kind of laid back, kind of.
I like that.
I love that part. And that's why I don't want to. I see signers that say Silver Lake, and I'm like, I wonder why they have this. And I'm thinking, well, because maybe they don't. Some corporations don't start coming in here, or like businesses, and it changes the vibe of things.
Yeah, because they actually protested Starbucks. Yeah, you guys know that, right? Oh yes. I mean, that was, you know, that's already. Remember the Starbucks by Savon? They protested that against the Starbucks.
And now it's a Enterprise rent car that was going to go up.
Enterprise.
Enterprise was trying to go up on Hyperion.
Oh, the one above that where the nursery used to be?
Yes, exactly.
Where
Everybody objected.
Oh, thank
with
goodness.
that nursery.
Thank goodness.
Better
Of all,
keep it down to earth.
Yeah, we want to. This is like a really small town, not like not too many.
We wanna keep this small
all the stores on Rowena are really beautiful. Like you know, you get beautiful things in those stores.
Individual
one of a
boutique.
kind.
Yeah. Small business instead of a big franchise.
Exactly. It's family run.
We should have a toast. Family business. There we go.
You like the one?
Very good. Guava tree when I was a child.
Yeah, but I was thinking it's too many guava, like every day like this. So what should I do with so many guava? I don't know what. So I said, okay, we just peel them, and then we just blend all them, and they became really thick. And then we just got to the citrus from the seeds, and then we just bring them here, and then they add a shot to the margarita. Tastes like guava. It's great. You know. Is the thing, every time I come here, I just order this until I have guava. When I don't, you know, they are in season right now, still. It's already like 3 months. 6 months, yeah.
I have low pot. I do a low pot margarita.
Which one is the logo?
Like little.
Yellow.
Oh, the yellow.
Low pots or kumquats? Low pots, okay.
Have a lot of seeds inside.
They have a yeah.
Nina, I'm curious. Do you have any wishes for the future for the restaurant? I mean, something like a vision of how you'd like to see it in the future.
Yeah, I want to see it the same.
The same.
The same because
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same because it's a gift from my husband. It's his idea, it's his brains here, his life, his goal, the teaching. Because he was teaching with the employees. He always told me never cheat anybody, never pay the minimum wage to the dishwashers or the cooks. Only you pay the minimum wage to the waiters or the busboys because they make tips, so they compensate. But my bartenders they make $9 an hour, even they make tips. But I don't want to make I want to make them like status better. The cooks they make very good money. They even tell me, you really pay us good salary. All of that I learned from my husband because when I came to this country he was my teacher. When I met him I was very young and I didn't have no family here. I just came by myself from Colombia. I have a dream and always since I was a little girl I want to come out of the Colombia, and because my father always told me when you grow up, you're gonna be a lawyer, and I'm gonna send you to Chicago. He always told me that, always, when I was a little girl, and until he passed away, he died when I was like 11. So my dreams, everything kind of crumbled because he was a great lawyer and really powerful guy there. So everything changes when my dad passing away. So in the right way, everything like no more forget about being a doctor or whatever. But my mother was not like the same. Like it was homemaker and with the children. It was 6 children. So it was tough for my mom. So I started working right away, and I had 3 very good jobs, and I say, and I get my visa, and I say the visa, they say tourist, I say no, resident. I don't know, I don't even know. Thank you Lord, I said resident. Thank you Lord, I said resident, and I wait like in a year, my papers go through, and I was telling all my family, oh, I want to go to the United States, because they say, where you want to go? I was taking French in Colombia. I said, maybe I go to Paris. I probably wanted to go to Paris, London, or United States. But I decided United States. They told me what part you want to go. They say Miami. I say no, Miami is like 3 hours away. I want to go far away. I don't know why. So they told me different cities, and I say no. They told me Los Angeles. I say, where is it, Los Angeles? They say next to Mexico. I say yeah, because I love Mexico too. I used to see all the movies, I like the music, so it was kind of a connection between Los Angeles and the United States and Mexico. So I came here and I was beautiful because Mexicans, United States, my English was zero.
You know what you need to do? You need to come to our senior club.
Yeah.
You just need to be 50 to join. I'm in it. We have a writing class. And the people write their stories. They are wonderful.
And she's a
She's a very good writer.
I have
I can hear the writing, and I can hear the writing in your touch. I hear the writing in your touch.
That would be
You
good.
should come Mondays. You know where the recreation center is, the rec center.
Yeah, with the dog park.
Near the dog park.
Yeah, I love
On
that part.
Mondays at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
No, 12:30. 12:30.
I always go to that part.
Do come, you will love it. People write it, they write it home, they read their stories, we all listen to everybody.
that would be good
story.
right now.
It's perfect, you would be wonderful.
Yeah, because but you know what? Because it's really good to have remember when you were little, why you are here, why you came by yourself.
Sounds
Nobody
like
else. I didn't know anybody in the United States.
Right.
And when I came, I was a secretary in Colombia with shorthand. Yeah. So it was the best. I got 3 jobs, the best companies. I was really good. So when I came here, all my clothes was like I have the tailor in Colombia. It was beautiful clothes, and it was all fancy and yeah. Because I was from there, I didn't know anything about here. And when I came here, I said, oh, now to get a job, what? They told me you have to go to the sewing places in the downtown. I said, oh, where? I said, where? So I started going to the downtown, all like elegant, and asking for a job. I said, what do you know? I said, secretary. I don't know anything about sewing. You know how to do anything? I say, no. So finally, they give me a job there. It was fun because they give me a job as just cutting when they finished the clothes, the trimmer, cutting out the thing. It was fun, it was nothing. So I found there my first love. Like soon, it was accidental. It was like out of the blue because I was just doing my job, and I saw the guy putting the beautiful clothes, like the fabric, like this. Lots of fabric, and I never saw that before. So and I was just looking and I asked the lady, what is he doing? What is he doing? So they said, he's the cortador, or they want to cut it. And I said, oh, but he has to be very careful because if he do one wrong move, he damaged thousands of dresses. And I said, oh, so I was kind of looking at that, like, say, oh, really? And then he looked at me, and I was looking and right at that moment, we look at each other, and flechazo. Flechazo, like
Like a spark.
sparks.
Oh, like the arrow you say.
Like an archer.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was kind of nice experience. And then one lady that was sitting, like old lady was sitting down sewing, and she wrote in the paper, "Be careful." So I didn't know what that means. I didn't know what. So I looked at the dictionary. Oh, cuidado. I say, cuidado. I said, why? I say, cuidado. Well, I stayed with him for a year. was right away. Right away I went to the classes before we had to communicate through dictionary because he was Hungarian. He's Hungarian and I no English, no Spanish. So dictionary. So for a while I went to school, Cambria school.
Yeah.
And then
And were you living downtown?
I was living in Alvarado. It was, it was beautiful in Wesley.
Yeah.
The building was beautiful, beautiful swimming pool, flowers, plant. Now when you go over there and you go by, oh my God, it's trash. So it was used to be beautiful. The MacArthur Park used to be really nice. They had the rides on Sunday, it was beautiful. Now it's scary to go there, You see, they have a little changes. So it was, a lot of stories like that,
But when it is, but you didn't tell the story of how you met and how you got to be around here, how you got to know.
How'd you get from downtown to here?
Because when I came, I wasn't my boyfriend, okay, fine. But I always was working in the factory. I know whatever small job, like I'm not cutting it because I don't know, or sewing, I don't know how to sew. But I always ask him, what is the best job here for somebody that doesn't speak to make some better money than just, I was always dressed up because I buy only clothes that I had, nice clothes. So I say, I don't fit.
Yeah.
Everybody was really elegant, no. It was like, for the work, it was the way it was supposed to be. And they say, you can be a cashier in a restaurant, or maybe, in more English, you can be a waitress. I say, okay, I want to be a cashier. So I got a job as a cashier in downtown in one place, and then a job as a cashier in a restaurant. For a little while, and they said, no, I don't make money as a cashier because no tips. So I said, I think a good idea is waitress. So I start looking at the yellow pages, and I say, I want to look for a nice Latin name. So I say, okay, Casitas Del Campo.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah, I say,
Hey, that's great.
That's
a sweet story.
Sounds kind of cute, no? The name. So I call. So I write that and say, oh, están en Spanish. Están necesitando meseras. They say, yeah, come and apply.
But hold on, you didn't tell this part of the story. It's important. That at that place that you worked at in downtown where you were cashier,
I was working in that place. It was kind of, it was kind of weird. Because in that place, I was behind it was kind of a bar too, and I was always cashiering, not serving anything.
Where was it?
It was on, they call it Quinto Patio. It was on Broadway before Chinatown. Like Sunset, like maybe one block away now, it's different things. It used to be like a bar, nice bar, and I love it because the music was really ranchera from Mexico. It was good, and they had a cool table, and I always cashier. And then this guy come all the time, he was a painter, very like painting the clothes. And he always sit in the same spot. And I say, hi, how do you do? ¿Cómo está? Fine, I always be polite. And he always go like, I was like, I had my hand, and he go like, and I go like that always because when he go, what I got to say, go like that. And then he told me one day, I say, oh, my uncle, my cousin owns a restaurant. But I was thinking, I said, what kind of cousin with that, because I look at him and I say, look too dirty and too very, for me, for my taste. Because at that time I was different, So I say, I never pay attention to whatever he has to say. But I always have in my mind, I say, okay, waitress. So I look at that yellow page, I came, make an application, and they called me, and then after I found out he was the cousin of my husband. After I was married, he came one time and I said, oh hi, ¿cómo estás? He said, he's my cousin. I said, oh, remember the restaurant I told you? I said, oh, kind of weird, coincidence. It was so, I can't believe it.
Was the Mexican community then very tight? Like a lot of them knew each other? Or no? It just was a coincidence? It was a different part of town. I think if they were in Boyle Heights, they would know.
Yeah, he lives in, and he lives in close to downtown, Chinatown. So he very seldom he used to come here. Very seldom. One time he was surprised that I recognized him. I said, oh, I said, no, I don't remember. I remember, but I never say where, or give me the address, give me no. Because I say, maybe you can be a cheap restaurant, you know.
I want to give this to you to read it. Can you read it or do you need glasses? I'll read it to you.
Okay.
I'll read it to you. It says, Life Riding Class, Recreation Center, Silver Lake Park, Monday, 12:30 to 3:30.
That's for you.
On the back is my name and my phone if you need it.
Right, and I think if you know any customers or other people that might be good to be interviewed for the history project, you should call B.
Okay, we know the, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
She just come here once a week.
Yeah, Larry, and she come we get together and have some guava margarita.
Right.
You have more of these.
While it's in season.
And then one time we get a mariachi and they start singing
Right,
and dancing and getting crazy.
I think we should try an avocado margarita. See what that tastes like.
I've had it really healthy, like organic.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's great. Really great. And we should come back during the day and look at tables and the artwork and take a tour. Maybe we should do that.
And then maybe my mother will be here too. You know?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Her and your mother.
Right, yeah.
And her grandmother too.
And your grandmother's still.
Your grandmother's still
Oh, she
alive?
died now.
Oh,
Your grandmother.
Oh, my grandma.
oh, okay. I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I realized
Her
that.
But my
You
mom,
should get the two moms together.
And Uncle Butch, no, her brother.
And Bud.
Brother and sister would be together.
my brother, her brother grew up here too.
Yeah, and
Chase,
my mother ended up working for here. You know, like not really working because she just kind of supervises.
Your brother?
But before she didn't work,
Let's
she
see together. Fun. Talk about Silver Lake?
brother because we have 5 women and 1 brother.
Because they
Oh, love
really,
it.
1970.
I love to talk
but they would
about
give all these personal stories.
That's what we want.
He was 25. My
I mean, like,
Yeah.
you remember a little,
my mother used to
you know,
be
like they would just talk about like
he
the friends,
used to live in San Francisco because he was there going to stay there.
and all that.
He was a photographer. He was
I
going
should
to
get
receive
her
master.
telephone number.
And
So if she doesn't come, I think she would love it. If she has time to do it, I think
my
it's
mother,
really good.
That would be good.
It would be good for her and it's good for everybody.
my brother, and I said, why not one of us? There are 5 women and 1 brother. It has to be my brother, the only one who died. So my mother was completely, completely for 4 years. I had to send her, I sent her to Colombia, to my older sister. I said, she has to stay there because she is responsible. She was too much down. We took her to Mexico, all over Mexico with my husband and they were living. She wasn't not alive. She wasn't born yet. And my other daughter was like 2 years old. So it's like 27 years ago. So he's done the own. So he's like, so after she came back and I said, oh, what should I do with my mom? Because she continued being the crib. I said, she has to work here. Like being involved.
You hitting the road?
Yeah, I got it. So thanks, Chris.
Thank you. No, it's like half an hour. It's hard to, I got tomorrow.
So you all know our life
But it's
story.
going to be even worse tomorrow night.
Good, yeah. I'm gonna go again.
Nina, thank you so much.
Okay, nice to meet you. We'll see you soon.
I want to tell you when your girlfriend comes to town.
Thank you for coming.
I'd like to see you.
Okay.
Okay? Do I turn the film on? You're up to my house.
Sounds good.
Still on.
Okay.